Hey there everybody, Miss Smith here. I hope you're having a good day. So yesterday we learned how to work the volume of a cylinder backwards in order to find the height. So yesterday you were given the volume and the radius or diameter and you found the height of the cylinder. Today we're going to work backwards and determine the radius or diameter. So today you're going to be given the volume and the height, and it's up to you to find the radius or the diameter. Now I know your flippy notes are getting kind of crowded in there, so here's what I want you to do. Take your flippy notes and turn them over, and we're going to put our example for today on the back right here. So first, let's go ahead and copy down our formula that we're getting familiar with for volume of a cylinder. So volume equals pi r squared times height. Okay. So let's look at our first example. Let me draw my cylinder here. And this is not an example from your assignment for today, but it's like what you're going to be seeing today. So if you have a cylinder like this, and they tell you that the height is 12 centimeters, and they tell you that the volume equals 1,357.16 centimeters cubed. So go ahead and get that copied down. Say you're given those two pieces of information, and then here you have a little line like that with a question mark. Can you see that? There's my question mark. So basically this is what you're trying to find. And as you know, when we start in the middle of the circle and go to the edge, that's our radius. So our radius, we don't know. That's what we are solving for. So let's set up our formula. We have volume equals pi r squared times height. So what do we know? We know the volume and we know the height. So those are the two things we're going to plug in. So starting with volume, we have 1,357.16 and now equals pi stays pi. And we don't know what r is, so r squared is going to stay as an r squared. And then we're going to multiply that by the height, which we do know. The height is 12 centimeters. Okay, so we want to get this r by itself so that we can figure out the value for r. So the first thing we need to do is get rid of the pi and the 12. Since that's all multiplying together, what we need to do to get rid of it is divide by it. So let's divide by pi and 12. We could do this in two separate steps, but doing it together is just a little bit faster. And what we do to one side, we make sure we do to both sides. So dividing that by pi and 12 also. Okay, so pi here, pi divided by pi equals 1, so we're just going to cancel that out. And 12 divided by 12 equals 1, so we're going to cancel that out. And then on this side, we need to do the math, so let's grab our calculators. Okay. So we have 1,357.16 divided by, now be careful here, as you do divided by, make sure you put the pi and 12 in parentheses, because otherwise your calculator will not do it in the right order and you will not get the right answer. So when you're done keying it in, it should look like this. And you hit enter, and you get 35.99978. So as you can see, that's going to round it up to 36. So let's do 36 equals, all of this canceled out except for the r squared, so we're just going to bring down the r squared. Now we're not done until that r is totally by itself, so we have to get rid of the squared. And the inverse of squaring something is to take the square root of something. So we're going to take the square root of both sides. And that'll leave us with r on that side. And we can use our calculator to help us out with the square root of 36. And that's going to tell us 6. So 6 equals r. And then at that point you are done with the problem. Now, if the question had asked for diameter, you would go through all of these steps the exact same way. You would get your radius length, and then as a final step, you would just multiply it by 2. So you would go 6 times 2 equals 12, and diameter would equal 12. But in this case, because you see the question mark is just over the radius, we're going to leave it with radius. All right, hope you guys have a fantastic day. Talk to you later.